10-minute daily reality check Tuesday, 2 days before Turkey Day. I'm not going to count down anymore. I'm going to allow everybody else to do the countdown because we are about to enter the world's most annoying, over-marketed season. We've got Black Friday. Ooh, Black Friday. Door-busting ideas, door-busting sales, door-busting deals, things you don't even need, but you're going to want. Who's going to get the big screen TV? There's only one available. Stores open at 3 a.m. That's right, 3 a.m. Thanksgiving night. Well, actually, Black Friday morning. People will line up and get into fights over the big screen TV. What are you going to nail? What are you going to get? It's all over the place. We're being marketed and hyped nonstop. People emailed me the other day and said, David, what's your Black Friday deal? Well, I'll tell you what, for no money down and $329 a month, you can lease my coaching services. That's right. And it's a 24 closed-end lease, but get it now because there's only one available. It's unbelievable the marketing hype that's going on this time of year to get your dollars out of your pocket. Everywhere you turn, car dealers, TV companies, cell phone. I mean, come on. There's only a couple of cell phone companies. Well, there's Cricket Wireless and there's some of the other Virgin Mobile and whatever the other small ones are. But they're all saying, buy one phone, get the next one free. Sounds great, but then I got to have 2 lines of service. I can't just take the phone and just twirl it and play with it. I got to then give it to somebody else, and I got to pay a minimum of $75 a month to go have that free phone in my hands. I can't just go put it on eBay. And there's eBay. There's Black Friday bidding deals. Everything is a deal, a perceived deal during the time of year so we can start the holiday season, which is the raping and pillaging of our pockets nonstop. Lexus has the December to Remember. Mercedes has the December sales event. Audi has the season of giving. Giving? You're giving me a $70,000 car? Thank you, Audi. I really appreciate that. We'll make the first month lease payment, says Audi. Well, does that mean I'm still getting a deal, or you're just making a $438 payment? Because I think that is the cap. So not many Audis fit under the cap except for the tiny A3 and maybe, if you're lucky, an A4 bean can. But then you'll see the advertised specials on cars. You'll see the $229 a month lease, but you don't read the fine print, $7,000 down. So for those of you that still go and put down money on a car, you're out of your fucking minds. Never take that clump of money to have a lesser payment, because the thing is, you're still taking that money out of your bank account. Roll it in. Don't allow the car dealer to go and be ho, ho, ho all over your wallet. For every $1,000, it's a $30 ad approximately per your payment. So if you've got a $200 lease payment or $199, they're getting you on the $199 plus tax, right? And let's say it's $5,000 down. Your payment really, honestly, is $349 plus tax. Make it $349. That way you can keep the $7,000 or the $5,000 and go invest it in Bitcoin, which I still don't understand what the fuck it is, because it's just some internet money, right? You can't really spend it on any stores, yet it's quadrupled in value. And that's another thing about our country that's so wonderful in our world. There will always be a new way to make money. There'll always be some type of new game. If you play it right, you can always find the next thing. Years ago, I hung out with this guy who literally every single year he was doing something different. Remember the Iraqi trading cards? He did those. He did things that everybody was looking for at that moment, or whatever was hot at the moment. He invested in real estate when it was going up really hard and fast. He invested in classic cars when they were going up really hard and fast. He invested in the stock market when it was going up like a missile. And I'm sure right now he's out of Bitcoin after already making a lot of money in Bitcoin. America is all about marketing and making money. What's the next run? What's the next bubble? What's the next pin that's going to pop? And how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that cash? Interesting thing. What about used cars? And what about used clothing? How many of you out there, okay, buy your car used because you desperately want to save some money? Where is the actual savings actually? Have you ever put a pen to it? When you lease a car, okay, you can write off a certain percentage of that lease. So you figure if the lease is $500 a month, $6,000 a year, $18,000 over the course of the 3 years. you don't get that $18,000 back. If your car payment is $500 a month, right? $18,000 over 3 years, you sell the car and you lose $10,000 on the sales price. Who came out better? Obviously, you're getting back $8,000 of your money. It costs you less money to drive that car, drive somebody else's car that might have had a scratch or might have had miles. But Americans are so caught up in the 0-mile odometer. When you buy a Mercedes or a BMW, or you buy an Audi, or you buy any of the Japanese cars, 30,000, 40,000 miles is nothing on a modern car. These cars are designed to be built for a long time. It's not the 70s, and then again, don't get me started on 70s cars. 70s cars are now going for hundreds of thousands of dollars, some of the models. And these are cars that literally, when they hit 30,000 miles, everything fell apart. I remember my dad had this Buick Riviera. It was super, super cool. And it would break down all the time. He'd be stuck on the roof in a Manhattan garage. He'd be stuck on the side of the West Side Highway. He'd be stuck on the side of the Cross Bronx Expressway. My dad was stuck everywhere in that car, and that car had no miles in it because there were things that were actually called lemon. Lemons were not just lemons that we ate. Lemons were sour cards, and I remember there were lemon alerts in New York where there was actually a lemon with wheels on it driving down the road, and it would show if you had a lemon. They actually would do that. Google it. It's really interesting. But imagine if your used car could talk to you. What would it say? Hey, the person ahead of us was really screwed up. Hey, the person, who bought the car, who owned the car ahead of you, really had a bad temper. Hey, the person who bought the car ahead of you, got into 3 accidents, but they were never reported in Carfax. Imagine if used cars can talk. They could tell you about the marital fights that went on in the car. They could tell you what really happened in the back seat between little Jimmy and little Johnny back there during road trips. They could tell you about everything. Imagine if used clothing can talk. How many of you buy used clothing because it's a good deal? It's cheap. You go to the thrift store, you buy clothing. But then again, what happened in those jeans? We assume that just washing it in hot water and soap, and I do buy a lot of used clothing, is okay for sanitary reasons. But imagine if you can actually get some secret superhero power from the used car you bought and the used clothing you got. Imagine if you're a man who has trouble meeting women, but you buy a pair of Levi's jeans that was run and owned by this cowboy who really was rough and rough and rugged, and you're just this kind of desk jockey that sits there all day long staring at the screen, who's not really rough and rugged at all. You suck with women, but this guy was like a stud in Wyoming, and he got all the women in the world, and these jeans had these superhero powers on it. These superhero powers that if you put them on, you got those superhero powers. Your personality transformed right away, because let me tell you something, a lot of guys that listen to me, holy shit, you'd be so fucking happy. So happy if you can get those superhero powers instead of actually working and actually learning these skills. These jeans would actually help you do that. What if the car that you bought, the sports car that you think is going to attract the women, which really doesn't because it's still the personality, what if a guy before you was like Don Juan, and the minute you got behind the wheel and you touched the steering wheel, the powers of seduction just went through your body and you pulled up in front of your local McDonald's and all the girls who love to chow down on Big Macs wanted to take a ride. All right, maybe not McDonald's girls, but you get the point. Who the fuck wants to date a girl that eats McDonald's? There is nothing that smells worse than McDonald's. You ever go into an elevator or the person that brings the McDonald's on the airplane? It's like, I want to shoot the person on the airplane. Oh, please, I know, I'm in a modern culture right now. All of a sudden now I'm going to read on the internet, David the Shooter, and something's going to happen, and there's going to a story come out that I was on an airplane one time, and I threatened somebody, and then somebody's going to do a lawsuit because I was the McDonald's threatener on the airplane, because that's what we do in today's society. We out every single person because everybody wants their 5 seconds of fame, and everybody wants to defeat or beat down or destroy somebody's career for minimal things. Hey, that's what we are. That's what social media is all about. Anyway, imagine if we actually got those superhero powers from our used jeans. What about the woman who wanted to feel sexy and she put the clothes on, but yet she still felt a little off? Imagine if she actually dressed in clothes that brought her the super secret powers. Black Friday. What you buy on Black Friday, is it going to bring you any super secret powers? I don't know. Are you going to get a great deal? Who the hell knows? Are you going to be waiting in line at 3 a.m.? We'll find out on Friday. Are you going to have a great Thanksgiving week is the best question. Or are you actually going to give thanks for all the things that we do in our lives? Because that's what Thanksgiving is all about. Screw the marketing, screw the hype, screw all the deals that we're going to buy. Forget about all the emails asking you to purchase their program, because most people are basically putting something on sale that doesn't sell anyway. Go to the Nike outlet, go get some sneakers in a purple color you never ever wanted before, but you got them for $29 and you look like a fucking idiot. That's the thing. Are you really getting what you want from the Black Friday deal? Go buy the car, but it's white and it looks like a bean can. You know the bean can cars? The bean can cars are the ones with the little itty bitty wheels that make the car look really, really bad. But you got a really good deal on it. The problem is it has no options at all. You've got a car that absolutely has just rolled down windows. They don't even make those anymore. I hope they don't. I think everything is electronic windows. Anyway, give thanks to what needs to be given thanks to this week. And allow Black Friday, Purple Saturday, Cyber Monday to do whatever it needs to do. If your budget and your pockets don't support it, don't buy something that's unnecessarily just to keep the economy rolling along, because the economy doesn't give a fuck about your debt. And your debt is what really increases during Black Friday, Hump Me Saturday, Sucker Sunday, and Cyber Monday. 10-minute daily reality check out.